Here is a review that you're expecting. So number 5, we have NASA Fed. Our score, 8.8 over 10. So when you think about NASA Fed, they have something called a cash line of credit. So if you're looking for a credit union personal line of credit that pulls Experian, NASA Fed is a great way to start. So if you need money for, let's say, an ongoing project, or you just need to have access to a source of temporary cash flow, NASA will take care of you. And one thing we love about NASA Fed is that they are constantly actually revamping their offer. Okay, they'll work with you. They actually will approve you real fast. As long as you have the required documentation, they can approve you within 48 hours. And one thing we also have realized is that if you are able to call NASA first before applying, you have a better chance of being approved. So if you're interested, do not apply online. Okay, you want to give them a call. Actually, the number here is 1-888-NASA-FCU. So 1-888-627-2328. And the cool thing is that, or you can just visit a branch location and have a conversation with a loan rep. Okay, so when we talk about their line of credit, you are talking about amounts that are available up to $30,000. Okay, and you can use the cash for everything. I mean, NASA does not impose any restriction on the use of loan proceeds or the use of line of credit proceeds. Okay, you can use the cash for home renovation. You can use the cash to consolidate debt. If that's what you want to do, that's fine too. And one thing we also love is that you are able to, again, with NASA, you have soft pull possible. This is really great because you are preserving your FICO score. You don't risk to have any hard pull. So you can just go on the website and just apply. You can even go to a branch and have a soft pull there too. So the whole thing is you want to see how much you could qualify for. Again, the maximum amount here is $30,000. Okay, and NASA also they have other loans. So besides their cash line of credit, they have other loans. So you have personal loans where you can actually borrow up to 80. I think it's $30,000 to $35,000, and they have flexible terms up to 84 months. This is really good, and the APR is kind of low too. You have 8.74%. This is really good, and they also have a shared secure loan where the terms are up to 60 months. So overall, you can see that NASA has a very solid offer when it comes to their credit union personal line of credit that pulls Experian. So NASA Fed, our score, 8.8 over 10. Number 4, we have Intrus FCU. Our score, 9 over 10. One thing we love about Intrus is that if you have a great relationship with them, they will reward you. First of all, they are very generous. So you're looking at a line of credit that goes all the way to $50,000. Okay, so this is, but this is if you have a premier line of credit. If you get approved for that line of credit, that's really cool. Basically the thing here is that you just need to have a great relationship with the Intrus. And having a great relationship with Intrus doesn't have to take many years, as you would usually see with other credit unions. So they actually will reward you with your loyalty if you have been with them for 2 to 3 years. So after 2 to 3 years, they will actually start bumping you into another customer status category. So they will take care of you. So line of credit here, up to $50,000. Okay, and so you have access to your money online, by check, or in person at any branch. So that's like some borrowers will actually have the cash instead of having wire transfers. Like if you need the money in cash, just go to any branch, and once you're approved, you can tap into the line of credit with no problem. Okay, so that's really what it is. So when we talk about Andrew's personal lines of credit, so you have the premier line of credit. You also have they have a program called Cash to Go Loan, and this is a smaller program, so the loan amounts are very small here. So here you can borrow from $250 to $500. So you have flexible payment options on monthly, bi-weekly, or the 1st and the 15th of the month. So there is no credit check. So this is actually similar to what you have, the cash advance loans that you have that other players in the industry have. But again, Andrews offers that with no credit check. So this is really good. And again, to actually qualify for the premier line of credit, you got to be a credit union member for at least 90 days. Okay, that's if you want to get like just a smaller amount. You want to be approved for a smaller amount, let's say 10,000, 15,000. But if you want to go all the way up there in terms of 50 or 45 grand, you want to be a member of the credit union for at least in our experience, because we have been members ourselves for at least 2 to 3 years. After 2 to 3 years, that's where the juice really starts at. You start receiving offers. You can go to a branch, have a conversation with the loan rep. They'll take care of you. Okay. And the one thing I want to say also is that they also have other credit products. They have personal signature loans in case you're interested in an installment loan. Number 3, we have here First Tech. Our score 9.1 over 10. What we love about First Tech is that their personal line of credit is flexible. I mean, they're not really generous here. I mean, because the maximum is 25,000. But with First Tech, the thing is that you get approved real fast. Sometimes if you go to a branch, they will do a soft pull. They don't have the soft pull capability on the website. So if you're worried about your FICO score and you just want to preserve it, just go to a branch or have a conversation first with someone over the phone. Okay. So with First Tech, you have a personal line of credit that is a $25,000 maximum. Okay. You basically can ask for a fluctuating monthly payment. So basically, you know, like when we talk about lines of credit, some lenders want to give you a drawing phase and then they want to give you a repayment phase. With First Tech, you can actually do a pay as you go. It's totally up to you. So you got to look into your budget. You have to look at your cash inflows and cash outflows and see whether or not a pay as you go option is better for you instead of the what we call the two sequenced or the two phase payment. So you have a drawing phase where you don't make any payment, so the interest will start accumulating on whatever balance you have, and then you have a repayment period where you have to repay whatever debt you had accumulated on the line of credit. So when we talk about First Tech, I mean, this is a great credit union. You are able to have an online line of credit application. Okay, you can actually deliver whatever documentation they ask you digitally. This is really good, and you have a fast line of credit decision, and they pull Experian. Okay, and so with that, if you have a line of credit with them, you have a free mobile app. You have access to a free mobile app. You have free online banking. Okay, you have free overdraft transfers. There is no prepayment penalty with this First Tech line of credit. You have there's no application or origination fee. There's no annual fee. So this is really great. And one thing I want to ask you here is that when you talk to First Tech, make sure that you explain to them the use of loan proceeds or the use of line of credit proceeds. Why are you applying for this line of credit in the first place? Because they have no restrictions, but they always want to know why you want to apply for this line of credit. You can use the cash for everything, from emergencies to home repairs to the uses run the whole gamut, really. Number 2, we have UNIFY Federal Credit Union. Our score 9.5 over 10. And what we love here is that they have a signature line of credit. Okay, UNIFY is very generous. What we love about UNIFY is, we love 3 things with UNIFY. They have an excellent customer service. They'll take care of you. They will actually help you throughout the line of credit application process. Like, they want you to be approved. And the third thing is that they are very generous. You are looking at a signature line of credit limit that ranges from $1,500 to $50,000. This is really good. Okay, you can use the cash for everything. You can use the cash for repairs, cash shortfalls, and any unexpected expenses. You can also use the cash for overdraft protection. Okay, and you have a variable interest rate in terms of line of credit, and you can even take advantage of a 0.25% discount for automatic payments from a UNIFY share account. So this is really good. One thing you want to do here is that you want to basically ask them, you want to have the origin of the payment account should be a UNIFY account. This will help you a lot because you really want to take advantage of the 0.25 discount. You know, this is really important. And so the thing is, in addition to the signature line of credit, if you're interested in other credit products at UNIFY, or if you are not approved for this line of credit, you can apply for a debt consolidation loan. Here also the maximum is $50,000. What we love is that they're really generous here too, and the rates are as low as 14.24%, and the tenor here goes from 12 to 84 months. So this is really good. This is a great proposal here, and you also can actually have access to personal loans, so you can actually take care of your personal moments. I'm talking about your weddings, right? Your vacations, your projects, whatever life throws at you, and you're trying to take care of business. This is actually a great loan. Okay, you have the rates there are as low as 13.49% APR for a 12-month term, and so again, the loan amounts here go from $500 to $50,000, and but you have fluctuating rates if you are looking for a term that goes from 12 to 84 months. Okay, but if you want only 1 year, you can actually have rates that are low as 13.49%. So this is really good. Number one, the best of the best in our view when it comes to credit union personal lines of credit that pull Experian, Kinecta. Our score 9.8 over 10. So with Kinecta, you actually have a great offer that we love a lot, and Kinecta is very generous. I mean, if you're thinking about generosity in terms of credit union personal lines of credit, the epitome of that is Kinecta. They are wonderful. That's number one. Number two, their customer service is impeccable. I mean, they used to have problems like 5 to 7 years ago, but over the last 5 years, they have revamped everything. They, from the time you apply to their technology, how they process credit product application, how they actually talk to customers, to members rather. We don't use the term customers, but it is wonderful. And in addition to that, they're very responsive and knowledgeable over the phone. If you are interested, give them a call and you will see what I'm talking about. So the number here is 1-888-954-6328. They are available Monday through Friday, 5 a.m. to 6 p.m. Pacific, Saturday from 6 a.m. to 3 p.m. Pacific, or you can stop by a branch and actually speak to them in person. Of course, they're not available on federal holidays, okay? But when we talk about, let me just kind of go back to the line of credit itself. So with Kinecta, you have an unsecured line of credit, which means what? No collateral is required. There is no annual fee. We love that a lot. And credit limits, check this out. Credit limits go from $1,000 to $100,000. This is just amazing, just amazing. And if you have the right relationship with Kinecta, you can be approved for a line of credit up to $100,000. I mean, been there, done that. Some of our team members have actually been approved for signature personal lines of credit, like around $90,000 over 5 years. So the possibility is there as long as you have the relationship. That's the thing. See, everything starts with a relationship. You want to have the right relationship with Kinecta, and they'll take care of you. You can easily transfer. Once you're approved, you can easily transfer funds to your checking through a Kinecta online banking account, okay, the bank account. So overall, this is fun. This is fantastic. They also offer, by the way, signature personal loans where they actually approve you for amounts that go from $100 to $1,000 to $100,000. Okay, this is really good, and the tenor here is 84 months. Fantastic. If you have made it so far, I just want to give you a bonus here. And in the course of our research, we found another wonderful institution that actually will take care of you. And this is Genisys. Our score, 8.5 over 10. So with Genisys, you have a constellation of line of credit offers. And I just want to say that the APR here can go from 10% all the way to 18%. Okay. And so you can actually qualify for a line of credit that goes from $10,000 all the way to $100,000, even though in reality, based on our experience, they will approve a maximum of 60%. In other words, they approve not 60%, they approve a maximum of $60,000. Okay, so in the books, it said 100,000. That's the maximum limit, but they will approve you around 50 or 75%, 75,000, depending upon your relationship with them. Okay, and they also offer personal loans. So if you're interested, like sometimes the reason why we give information about personal loans is that sometimes you could actually apply for a line of credit, and what will happen here is that the lender will say, listen, we don't think you qualify for our line of credit, but you might qualify for our personal loan. So they will actually process you for an installment loan as opposed to a revolving line of credit. So if we were to contextualize this reality into Genisys credit offers, they actually have personal loans that have terms all the way to 60 months, and you can be approved for an unsecured loan for a maximum $50,000. So this is really good. And they also have a personal loan special. That's how they call it, where you basically are able to get approved for amounts that go from $5,000 all the way to $30,000. And we are talking here about terms that go from 1 year to 5 years. Okay, so this is really good. They also have a holiday loan. Okay, and here you are looking at APRs that go from 6.99% all the way to 20%. And here the rates, the loan amount that will grant you will depend upon your personal situation. Okay, but they have actually approved folks for holiday loans going all the way to $4,000 to $5,000. And we have seen in some cases, very rare cases, I need to add that, they have approved folks for $10,000. Let me give you a quick overview before we close today's conversation. So when you think about a credit union, personal line of credit that pulls Experian, it's very important to understand three things. Number one, you have to actually check your Experian credit score to make sure that everything is fine. Okay, this is really important because you don't want to have an Experian credit score that is not really that good. And I mean, if you have a TransUnion score or an Equifax score that is great, but your Experian one is at fault, you really want to fix the Experian one first, because these credit unions that I talk about, they pull primarily Experian. That's number one. Number two, you need to actually have a relationship with that credit union. In other words, you got to be a member first. And not only be a member, you have to be a lifelong member. You don't have to spend years or decades with them, like you don't have to become buddies with them, but you want to have a relationship, what we call a multi-product relationship. So you probably will have a checking account with them, a savings account with them, and if they offer services such as insurance, you might want to also buy insurance for them, because what you're trying to do here is you're trying to establish a win-win situation. That's what we talk about when we say you have a relationship. So that's the second thing you need to have. And the third thing you need to have is that you need to understand what a personal line of credit is. Okay, so a personal line of credit is really a type of account that you can actually get through any lending institution, including a bank or a credit union. So basically this type of account allows you to borrow from it up to a predetermined account, to a predetermined amount, not account. Okay, so this account, this personal lines of credit, are typically unsecured, meaning you don't need to provide collateral. They have a borrowing limit. They come with variable interest rates, and they require credit score that actually range from 550 all the way to 805. Okay, and so you have to think about that. So there is a typology that you need to understand. When we talk about lines of credit, you can have unsecured lines of credit, you can have secured lines of credit, you can have business lines of credit. So you can use those. If you are a sole proprietorship, you can still qualify for them, not a problem. Okay, and so there are many pros to lines of credit, and there are a few cons also, depending on what you need the line for. Okay, and part of the pros for lines of credit, you have an interest incurred only on funds borrowed. You can draw up to 100% of credit limit without restrictions. This is really good. And you have a flexible repayment options. Let me give you a quick pro tips and a quick set of pro tips before we close to this conversation. How do you actually get a personal line of credit at a credit union that pulls personal Experian? There are a couple of things I want you to pay attention to. First of all, as I said, you have to have a relationship. You got to become a member. If you're not a member, you cannot get a loan at a credit union. Credit unions in general, you need to have membership. Okay, so you have to make sure that you qualify for membership. And the cool thing is, most of the credit unions we have mentioned in today's conversation, they actually are national, or they don't have any geography restrictions. So they don't care about your profession, your geography, your congregation, and so on and so forth. They'll take care of you. They'll accept you no matter where you live, even in Alaska or Hawaii. Okay, and so you need to think about your proof of income or employment, because the credit union wants to make sure that you are actually able to repay the loan or line of credit. Whatever you tap on the line of credit, you should be able to repay it. And it's really important when we talk about proof of income or employment. You don't have to have a 9 to 5. No. The most important thing is cash flow. Can you repay the line of credit? How do you derive revenue? How do you derive income? How do you derive your cash inflow? Okay, that's what they care about. So if you have a 9 to 5 job, that's fine. If you have, if you have a 9 to 5 job, then they will ask you to provide W-2s, pay stubs, tax returns, okay, 1099s, and so on and so forth. And also the credit union wants to pay attention to your financial history and standing. So they want to look at your balance sheet, for example. They will want to look at your assets, your liabilities. They want to see your history of paying bills on time. And they want to look at your debt to income ratio. So those are really important. They also want to pay attention to your credit score, okay? And this is why one thing I was saying today is that you want to make sure that you can actually apply for a line of credit that allows you to have a soft pull, because you don't want to go around and just risk your very good FICO score. You don't want to decimate the FICO score. Even if you don't have a good FICO score, you need to preserve your FICO score. So this is something that is critical. And so think about your credit score, but you want to actually check your own credit score before you actually start applying, okay? And you can find a personal line of credit at credit unions or also at banks. And so there are alternatives to personal lines of credit though. You have credit card, you have personal loans, you have home equity lines of credit. So the choice is really diverse. Before I close today's conversation, please check our loan evaluation approach. We have a strong methodology on this show when it comes to evaluating, categorizing, and listing credit union personal lines of credit that pull Experian. Check this out. So I want to quickly recap today's conversation here. I want to wrap up things here. So Kinecta, our score, number 1, Kinecta, our score 9.8 over 10. Number 2, UNIFY FCU 9.5 over 10. Number 3, we have a First Tech. Our score here is 9.1 over 10. Number 4, we have Andrews FCU 9 over 10. Number 5, we have a NASA Fed 8.8 over 10. And in the bonus category, we have Genisys, our score 8.5 over 10. Thank you so much. I will speak to you another day. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.